have two questions for you,
Okay.
but I will start with the first one. Has leadership changed since the pandemic?
So I think it's reverted back to what pre-pandemic leadership was. I believe that during COVID, we were all on Zoom or Teams. We could look inside people's houses. We could see that they were struggling with managing their work-life balance. They've got children crying, dogs barking, people coming in through the door. So we could see that they were struggling almost the same as us. So going back to what Andy said, there was that real vulnerability. And because of that, we were able to connect more with people. And I think for leaders, that's where we found real strength. And instead of asking, what's the matter, like we do now, we asked, are you okay? Without removing accountability, because that, of course, is important. So I think we saw our employees as having messy lives the same as ours, and we were able to empathize in an authentic way. Again, the words Andy mentioned, in an authentic way. And because of that, we all became closer together, not because we were fighting the virus, but because we knew we were all in it together, working towards the same thing.
Precisely.
Unfortunately, I think we've gone back to focusing on the profit and the margin, which is right to do, but also it needs to have equal relevance for the empathy and caring about our people as much as anything else.
That's a very valuable takeaway about empathy, because these kind of affective factors, in my opinion, drive performance, whether it's a beauty salon or a high-tech IT company or whether it's a multinational. Right, let me proceed with the second question,
Okay.
Duncan. Do young people need a different leadership style?
So I think this is perhaps one of the most frequent challenges for senior leaders now. How do we motivate and inspire young employees? Certainly in the UK, we've seen high levels of sickness, long-term absenteeism, attrition. And I think often this comes down to the mindset of the young people who are joining organizations. Maybe 20 years ago, parents used to call up the school and used to say, why has my son or daughter not got an A? Now, parents are calling up the workplace and saying, why has my son or daughter not got a promotion? And they're 26 years old. So maybe we need to offer a more maternal and paternal perspective. And I think it also comes down to a fixed and growth mindset. We're living in a world of perfectionism, where young people are caught up in this world of perfectionism, where there's plenty of studies shown that young people are given special names. They're being made to feel like the star of the world. And unfortunately, when they don't achieve, we have schools which are now giving out awards for participation. There's no longer this winning or losing. And so because of that, there's lack of resilience. So I could speak a lot about this, but I think rather than recognizing success, which is typically the way that we do things, I think for young people, we have to recognize their effort.
Excellent.
But this is a much bigger topic, but recognizing an effort is the short answer to that question.
I'd like to add from my personal experience, what can universities and academia do in order to get the young to think differently?
So to get people to act differently, you need to get them to think and feel differently. And to get people to think and feel differently, you need to paint different pictures inside of their minds. And one of the best ways is linking back to what Andy said was, what if? What would happen if? So if we were to use a business example, what would happen if we had twice the marketing budget? What would happen if we had twice the space, twice the number of employees? But equally say, what would happen if we had half the space, half the number of employees? People think really creatively. So I think encouraging people to be more open-minded and embracing the idea of what if through gamification. Let's play a game. Let's try and experiment.
Absolutely. So experimentation is the name of the game.